What's going on, Pride Nation? Welcome back to another Detroit.Sports.Alliance edition of your pregame show for your Detroit Lions. And this time we're going against the Atlanta Falcons. We do have a full house in terms of people on the panel. If you saw my first link and it disappeared, it's because I was having technical difficulties. And so I had to repost it, and I do apologize about that. Let me go ahead and get the panel up in here. Let's hope everybody is working. Starting off right up the gate, we got my man Jim Bordeau. What's going on, Jim?
Nothing much, man. We just got the inactives for today, so at any point, if you want those, let me know.
Well, who we got so far for inactives? Hit that really quick.
The inactives are David Blau, Miles Killebrew, personal reasons. Desmond Trufant was out anyway. Logan Stenberg, Bo Scarborough, and Quintez Cephas are all out for today.
Interesting. What the hell wrong with Quintez Cephas? We'll get into it. Next up, we got my man 313 J-Mo in the building. What's going on, J-Mo?
Bro, you might as well send Quintez Cephas to the Eagles since we don't want to use it. Like, why is he a healthy scratch again, bro? Just send him to the Eagles so we can get mad about it.
J-Mo is tripping already. J-Mo, tell the people what up, though.
Man, like, I'm sorry, that caught me off guard. What's good, y'all? What's good, man?
And then we have man, one of the guys that I have so much respect for, man. He I don't know, he's still pumping these videos out, doing his thing in school and winning championships in soccer. My man RwriterWrong. What's going on?
What's going on, everybody? It's Sunday. Got Lions football today. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Now Curt is going to come on. He's having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to get right into it because today is one of them days where we get the tale of two stories. That's right, people. The tale of two stories. Story number one, if the Lions win, they're 500. I'm going to say that again. If the Lions win, they're 500. And if the Lions lose, do you fire Matt Patricia and Bob Quin? Those are the two stories that we're going to be jumping on, as well as a few other things. But right out the gate, starting this off with you, Jim, if the Lions win today, they'll be 500. And presumably back in the playoff hunt. Do you think the Lions can run the table?
No, absolutely not. I don't think they can run the table. I don't know if they win this game, to be quite honest about it. I don't think they're as good as what we saw last week. Jacksonville's a really, really bad team, but we'll see how it goes. There's some winnable games there, no question, but I don't think they run the table, no.
Okay. What say you, Ryder? I mean, if the Lions win today, that, obviously puts them back in that playoff race. Do you think they run the table?
I don't think they can run the table. I think that they're good. I think that they're improving. I think that this team is getting better every week, but there are some other teams on the schedule that I don't think the Lions can beat. I think there are teams on the schedule that, are just better than the Lions flat out, and I don't think they can run the table. And even if we get to 8-8, I don't think that'd be good enough to make the playoffs anyway, just because there are a lot of other NFC teams, especially in the West and the South, that are a lot more talented and a lot better than the Lions. So I don't think they can run the table.
What say you, J-Mo? You think if the Lions win today, they can run the table? I mean, obviously the schedule is looking a little bit easier going down this stretch.
So, where did you get? Who asked you this question, man? Because, I'm the biggest Lions fan, but asking are we gonna win 11 games in a row? Like, are you crazy?
I'm just listen.
11 games in a row.
It was posed to me. The question was posed to me because they wanted to be discussed, and I don't turn down subscribers' questions.
No, I knew a subscriber gave you that question, but no, and I would say if we win today, if you wanted to be 3-3, you should have kept Caldwell.
I mean, listen, this is how I look at it. I look at it like this. I mean, run the table. I mean, right, you talking about ripping off 11 games. I mean, we still got to play people like Tennessee. We still got to play the Bucks, the Packers again, the Bears again, Minnesota again. I just don't see running the table as the answer. But that one did give me an idea, J-Mo, surprisingly, based off of that question, and that is, if the Lions do win today and become 500, should they now become buyers before the trade deadline? So what do you think, J-Mo?
Oh, you just trying to. I told you I'm trying to have a smooth show because I'm busy. You trying to upset me today because when you said that, you know what I instantly thought of? Antonio Brown. You know what I thought of? I forgot it was some team, but some team just got a linebacker from the Giants. Like, what are we doing? But if we go 3-3, yes, buy as much as possible. Why do I say that? Because Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, your job on the line, so you should have bought everybody already. Like, do you not care? But, hey, that's how I feel.
I mean, listen, I feel you, Ryder. What do you say? I mean, if the Lions do win today, they'll be at 500, 3-3, obviously. But again, do you think if that happens, they should become buyers before that trade deadline?
Yeah, I think it depends. I guess how they win. Like, if it's really, really close against a 1-5 Atlanta team, then I'm not sure it's worth buying and giving up draft capital. But if they go out and do what they did against Jacksonville, if they absolutely stomp the Falcons and they look really good and they feel like, they're that Quinn Williams away, they're that one player away from, making a serious run, then I think they should absolutely be buyers. If they're 500, then obviously they're good enough to compete and win some football games. So, and obviously, like Jamal said, their jobs are on the line. I mean, Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia, if they don't start winning soon, like if they don't start getting winning records in the next couple of weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see them in Detroit much longer. So if they want to save their job, if they want this team to be successful, I think they should be buyers, especially if we go 3-3.
Okay, I mean, listen, you can call me Funk says if they win, go get Ryan Kerrigan and Quentin Williams. So he's saying, look, if they win today, he's saying they need to be buyers. Build up and get ready to rock and roll. Jim, what say you? They go 500. Should they become buyers before that trade deadline?
I think they're going to be buyers anyway. I do believe they might be buyers and sellers. I think Marvin Jones could get traded, but I don't know about that. I think that they could be buyers as well. Kerrigan and Quentin Williams are two people that I look at that could help this team, and they have to make the playoffs and they have to make a run is what I think. They have to show significant improvement was what the mandate was. So I can't see them being sellers at the deadline unless it's somebody that just doesn't fit in their scheme right now.
Okay. All right. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't trust Bob Quinn to do nothing in a desperate year like this. I don't want him to do nothing. Leave everything alone. Don't do nothing. Don't trade. Don't sell. Don't do nothing. Let this season finish, and whatever happens, happens. But I don't want to do nothing. I know everybody's hyped up on Quentin Williams. I mean, I'm not willing to give a second up for Quentin Williams myself. I just don't think, I think he's a guy that is a good player, but I'm not trying to be sellers because we are at 500. No. You got to make what we got work before I'm convinced. And as far as I'm concerned, it's coming a little too late. So to me, I'm going to say no on being a buyer because at that point, it don't make sense. It just don't. But now here comes the question that another subscriber tossed to me. Hopefully, J-Mo don't kill nobody about it. Hopefully you don't. If the Lions do lose, though, today, and Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia are not fired, do you think Sheila Ford-Hamp has failed the fans? Let's start this off with you, Ryder.
I mean, in my opinion, first off, if Matt Patricia loses another game, he should be gone. Like, that's just how it is, in my opinion. If Matt Patricia loses, he shouldn't be gone. He should not be the coach anymore. But if they lose today, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, if this Lions team, whether they have Matt Patricia or somebody else, I still don't think it's going to go to the playoffs. I still don't think is necessarily going to make a lot of noise, isn't necessarily going to, make a deep playoff run or be super impactful for a lot of the season. So, I mean, if Matt Patricia gets fired, whether it be tomorrow or 3 weeks from now, to me, it doesn't really make a difference because I don't know how much of a difference it would make with the record. I don't know how much of a difference it would make overall for the season.
Okay. What say you, Jim? Do you if for some reason the Lions lose today and, Sheila says, you know what, I'm not firing Quinn, I'm not firing Matt Patricia, do you think she's failed the fans?
Yes and no. I just don't think it makes a big deal of difference till the end of the year. If this year's shot, who cares? Who are you going to bring in? Who are you going to promote? And then do you run the risk of having that person totally succeed with this team and then think they might be the next guy? I just think we need to clean house at the end of the year. And unless they go on a huge run, I just see it as it's a lost cause. We need to hit the reset button.
All right, what say you, J-Mo? Do you think Sheila is failing the fans by not firing Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia if they lose today?
Well, if that's the case, she failed the fans when she didn't fire them after the first game. I mean, I told y'all I told y'all 4 weeks ago, if you want to salvage the season, fire him now. Like, so you can win as many games as possible. After we started 0-1, I'm like, get this guy out of here so we can salvage the season. And now at this point, if we were to go to 2-4, I disagree with Jim and Ryder a bit. I definitely think it does matter when you're talking about winning games, because if we go in 2-4, we lose to a 1-5 trash, no offense, Atlanta team, we might be 5-11. Like, I'm not trying to have that energy. So Sheila would definitely fail the fans if you don't get rid of Patricia, because this is about some mandate and stuff like that. If I'm looking at it from that perspective, you got to get rid of this guy. To me, it's not about if he's going, what he's going to do. It's about consequences for your actions. And, when somebody says something is going to happen, it's going to happen.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna talk this over to Curt before I do it, and I'm gonna try to get Curt caught up. Curt, I'm gonna hit you with a few questions, and we're gonna wrap it off on you and get you caught up. All right? Curt, I guess Curt ain't ready.
Hey, Curt.
I'm here.
Okay,
my mic muted. I'm sorry.
All right,
okay.
Curt, I'm finna fire off the first few questions and get this thing going. If the Detroit Lions win. If the Detroit Lions win, they'll be at 500 today. Obviously, they're back in the playoff race. Do you think the Lions can run the table?
Run the table?
Yeah.
Nah. Ain't right.
All right, next question. If the Lions do win today and become 500, do you think they should become buyers before the trade deadline?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what though? As a longtime Lions fan, I'm sick of us being sellers and not buyers.
Okay, all right. And the question that we're currently at right now is, if the Lions lose today and Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn are not fired, have Sheila Ford failed the fans by not doing so?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Here's my thing. How much longer you give the mandate? You give the mandate that you need to turn this team around. Now, do I think they will be fired? No. Unless they just totally lose, like get blown out. But if they're competitive, I don't think they'll be fired unless they have a lead and blow it again.
Yeah, my attitude to it is this: I don't think she can fail the fans at any point other than at the end of the season. For me, if she obviously you can always fire Bob Quinn. Like I just believe that the GM is way more easier to replace at this point. But in terms of firing Matt Patricia, what difference does it make? I mean, if you fire him now, you don't make the playoffs. You don't make the playoffs. If he loses and you don't make the playoffs, you don't make the playoffs. It doesn't change anything. You're not going to go out and hire the head coach that you want right now. Let him finish his little whack season out there. If he can't get it together, and we move on. Now, if she don't do that at the end of the season, yeah, she's failed the city, and she did more than that. But overall, I don't know if I can say that she has failed this team just because she didn't do it immediately after this game. Now, let's get more into this game on a more positive note, because I wanted to talk about the flip side of it. Well, you know what? Let me before I go there, let me flip it. If the Lions lose this game, should they become sellers? Like, if they lose, should they now decide, listen, get everybody up out of here, get assets? What do you think, Curt?
If they lose the game, I'm not selling. I'm not selling everybody off. No.
Okay.
Just because of the fact that you have a chance, in the next couple games to still become 2-1, become 500. So I'm not selling everybody off right now. No.
Okay, what say you, Ryder? If they lose today, do you think they should become sellers?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe trade one or two people, but I don't think, with their jobs on the line, I don't think it'd be smart for Bob Quinn to just say, all right, well, we're going to sell everybody because I'm not going to be here. Like, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think that they're going to make a ton of moves, especially if, their jobs are on the line. So, I mean, will they sell? Maybe a little bit. They might trade a guy like Marvin Jones for, a late round pick or something, but I wouldn't expect them to go crazy and start having a fire sale like we saw in Jacksonville.
Okay, what say you, J-Mo? If the Lions lose today, you think they should become sellers?
No, I do not. Unless you're selling Christian Jones.
Hey, wait, J-Mo. J-Mo, no BS. When the Lions announced roster moves, the first time they cut Bo Ben Shaw for some running back. And I commented on their Twitter page, why are we cutting offensive linemen who we actually build up, we're developing for a running back to get a look-see at what he can do? It doesn't make sense. And then they announced a second roster moves where they then cut said running back one day after, brought back Bo Ben Shaw, and it said Chris Jones is cut. But it was like defensive back. And I was like, wait a minute. How long is y'all going to keep doing this? You cut the wrong Jones, okay? You need to get rid of the other Jones because he's not giving us nothing.
No, like I'm telling you, man, in the dream world, I'm cutting Christian Jones and giving Reggie Ragland all his snaps. You know?
I mean, it's amazing to me. I just want to put that out there. But but you have any more to add to that about should they be sellers?
No, I don't think. I mean, I'm with Curt. I mean, 2-4 is bleak, but our schedule. I mean, look, I'm not saying we're a good team, but we face a bunch of Lions level teams, so we still could do 8-8, 9-7. And for Bob Quinn's sake, I don't think he wants to be a seller. Like, why would you sell when you're trying to win? When you're trying not to be fired, why would you get rid of all your assets? You know.
Okay, what say you, Jim?
Yeah, I'm kind of with the same thing. I think that I think they can't be sellers right now, and maybe certain positions. Maybe they'll give up. Maybe they'll give up a couple people. I like the Marvin Jones thing is possible, but other than that, I don't think they're going to sell off like Kenny Golladay or anybody like that.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. In my opinion, they have to be sellers. There's a lot of teams out here who got needs and they got draft picks, and I think people like Carry On. If you wanted to move Marvin, you can move Marvin, move Christian Jones. I think there are some people that you can package up and ship out and get assets. And in my opinion, if I'm not making a playoff at this point, I want draft capital. I want enough assets so that whoever's coming in and taking over this thing can do it the way that they see fit. They get to start off with a clean slate as far as I'm concerned. And if they're not doing that, then I don't know what to tell them. Now,
Bruh, hold on, Doc. You really think Bob Quinn's gonna set the team up for success if he's leaving? Man, hell no. That dude gonna wreck the shop like he already has and leave it worse than what he did when he got here. He not.
Yeah,
But see,
yeah.
Curt,
But
if that's the case,
hold on, J-Mo. I want to respond to that.
Go ahead, Doc.
I don't think that I think you're looking at it from the glass being half empty. I'm looking at it half full. He's still going to try to make moves to prove that he's the right general manager. So to me, is it about setting up for the next guy? No, it's about him trying to prove that I can make the hard decisions and do it right, even when I make mistakes. And if he can get more assets for his next coach, if they decide to keep him, air quotations all day, then I see him, putting forth for effort. But go ahead, J-Mo. What did you want to say?
No, you were talking about why he would tear everything down, and I was like, if that was the case, if it's a sinking ship, look, if he knows he's getting fired, if it was me, I would try to bring in as much talent as possible to try to save my ass. Like, I'm not getting rid of nobody.
He's going to be
but
a
of course,
buyer.
no, Luke, you thinking about the future for the safety of the Lions franchise, and I commend you for that. But for Bob Quinn,
thinking about his future.
like.
He said, "So you think about the future?" I commend you for that.
Yeah,
hey,
because he's going to be a buy. If he's going to try to save his job, like J-Mo said, he's going to be a buyer. He's going to try to buy up some stuff and try to buy his way to keep his job. That's
okay. Well, listen. I can't argue with anything. I can't. I just tried to give you a little bit more positive hope in it. That's all. But let's get into the game, people. Starting off with you, J-Mo. How should the Lions attack the Falcons?
Okay, two ways, and if they do this, they'll win. You have to make them one-dimensional. So, shut down Todd Gurley completely because it makes them more predictable. And on the offensive end, you have to do the exact opposite. You have to run the football. I know this team is the worst in the league in the pass and all of this blah, 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 blah. All I know is if we run the football, we not going to lose. So I don't care about all that other day secondary is garbage. I could care less. run the damn ball, and you should make them one-dimensional on the other side. That's how you win this game.
All right, what say you, Ryder? How do you see the Lions, or how should the Lions attack this Falcons team?
So I kind of agree with JMO a little bit for the beginning of the game. I think you need to establish the run, but this Atlanta Falcons secondary is really, really bad. I mean, they've given up over 2,000 yards in 6 games. So, I mean, and they bite a lot on play action. That's something I noticed when watching them is their linebackers, and their linebackers bite on play action, and their secondary, their cornerbacks bite a lot on double moves. So, you know, you got to throw a couple double moves in there. You got to throw in a lot of play action, get those linebackers to jump forward, get those cornerbacks to jump on your wide receiver. And then as soon as they jump, as soon as they become aggressive, you cut it upfield. Big shots at Kenny Galladay, big shot to Marvin Jones, big shots to TJ Hawkinson. And I think if we can attack this secondary downfield, they will, you know, struggle to stop it. Because I don't see a cornerback on that roster that's gonna, you know, match up with Julio Jones or not Julio Jones, match up with Kenny Galladay and, you know, be a favorable matchup for him.
Okay, all right, Jim. I mean, how do you see it, man? How should the Lions attack this Falcons team?
Well, they should attack them in the run game. That's the first thing, but minimize mistakes. I think that's the huge thing for the Lions today. No interceptions, no turnovers, no dumb penalties, no things like that. I'll shoot yourself in the foot. I think Atlanta's offense is and our offense against their defense against our offense is a wash. I think it's going to come down to special teams. I also think it's going to come down to time of possession, i.e. the run game. And also I think it comes down to who limits the mistakes. Okay.
What say you, Curt? How do you think the Lions should attack the Falcons?
Yeah, it should be a ball control offense. You can run the ball at the beginning of the game, establish the run, and then what's that run to pass? I mean, Lions have had in the past where they pass to run, but establish the run, grind the clock out. If the best way to keep the Falcons out of the end zone is keep our offense on the field.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody said this, because to me, the Falcons have been surprisingly okay, and it's probably because teams have been able to light them up in other ways, but the Falcons have been surprisingly okay on defense and not giving up a lot of rushing yards. And so, to me, the way that you attack this team is you have to pressure, put some more pressure on Matt Ryan. I always talk about cutting off the head of the snake, and to me, I don't see our cornerbacks shutting down Ridley and Jones. So guess what? Take away what gives them the ball, the quarterback. And to me, if they're not going after the quarterback in a aggressive fashion to snuff out that quarterback, we're going to have some problems. Because if you let Julio, first of all, think about this. Look what Devontae Adams did to Jeff Okudah. Okay? Julio? I don't even want to talk about it. We gotta cut off the lifeline right at the quarterback to their abilities. If they want to try to run the ball, have at it. Go for it. Try to run the ball. But they gotta snuff them out on that side. And in terms of us on offense, this is gonna be a game where tight ends and screens are going to be your best friend, because this team's linebacking core and Grady Jarrett, they'll get after you. And if you want to get them off tilter, you're going to have to get to know your tight ends a whole lot this game, and you're going to have to get to know the screen a whole lot this game. So to me, I'm looking at us literally being able to tell the defense, you can do all you want, you can blitz, you can do whatever. The cornerbacks, they're going to do their thing on Atlanta. But if you can set them up by keeping the game a little bit short, and forcing the cornerbacks to try to peek in the backfield, now you can dot them up down the field. But for me, I'm not trying to let them establish any type of passing game with Julio and Ridley. I can't. And this is going to be a game where they're going to low-key try to feature Brandon Powell, because this is the first game since he's been picked up from the Falcons where he gets to play the Lions. Now, on a more healthy note, it would be interesting to know that the Lions lead this matchup 24-13. So that's the reality. Although they did lose that last game, and what we know is, I thought it was a touchdown by Golden Tate, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, me too.
Did you see the Falcons yesterday?
Huh?
The Falcons the other day tweeted out the last time we played, and they showed that play or something like.
I'm just saying. We lost 30-26. That one game would have changed a lot that season. That one game, I believe, make it to where we don't even.
That one game
the playoffs.
It kept us out. Literally, that loss put them in the playoffs and kept us out.
Yeah,
and got us Matt Patricia. So
Wow,
boy.
So I mean,
I had to go there.
Atlanta, we owe y'all a lot. We owe y'all a whole lot now.
Just saying,
payback.
Just saying, food for thought, man. I mean, it's crazy to think about, but that's the reality. And that one game was that huge. So let me ask you a question: who should the Lions be concerned with on the Falcons' offense and defense? We're gonna start this off with you, Jim.
Well, of course, Julio Jones. I mean, come on, man. It's kind of an easy question to me. I think it's Julio Jones. I think Todd Gurley. You have to stop the run first, I think. So stop Todd Gurley. Matt Ryan on defense. It's funny because they're actually kind of full on defense where we thought they were going to be kind of, there was a lot of injuries early on in the week. So there's a lot of players there too that, it's just like I said, we're going to have to stop the run and I believe establish the run. That's the way I feel about it in this game.
Okay. All right. We'll say you, Curt. I mean,
those two are key. But Matt Ryan, you have to, like you said earlier, establish a good pass rush. Keep him at bay. Keep him. He's not a good mobile quarterback. So if you pressure him, make him break down, get outside the pocket, then you can have some success. He's not a good thrower on the run. So if you keep him under pressure, keep him under lockdown, then that'll be your key to success on defense. Is keeping Matt Ryan under pressure. And just a programming note, Lions are wearing Color Rush today.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
Okay. Do you know which one it is? I like the all gray boys personally,
it's the all gray.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I like those. All right, so
gray.
listen. I agree with you, Curt. I think on offense you have to focus on Matt Ryan. I know that everybody is thinking Julio, thinking Ridley, thinking Todd Gurley, but one person gives them the ball. So take away that one person and see what happens. Sorry, old timer Dave, but look at what happened to the Packers. They took away Aaron Rodgers, and everything else couldn't sustain. You just have to be able to sometimes take away the head. And to me, getting rid of Matt Ryan on offense does it. Now on defense, I was going back and forth on players. I was like, oh, this guy. But it really is Jones, D.A.N. Jones, because to me, he as a linebacker, he has enough ability to snuff out our run. He has enough ability to get plays in the pass game. And to me, he draws a concern for me because he's a guy that you can do a lot with. And I suspect that they'll be using him to keep a close eye on those running backs and even trying to chip off a few of those tight ends. But that's a guy that I worry about. What say you, Writer? Who should the Lions be concerned with on the Falcons offense and defense?
So the obvious answer for the offense is Julio Jones, but I'm more concerned about Calvin Ridley than Julio Jones in this game.
Fact.
But because if you look at what both have done, right? I mean, Calvin Ridley's played in every game, which Julio hasn't done. Julio's had 2 really good games and 2 really bad games. He's had 2 games over 100 yards, but he's also had 2 games where he's failed to get over 32 yards. He had one with 24 and one with 32. And he's had 2 really good games and 2 really bad games. If you look at what Calvin Ridley's done this season, he has 4 100-plus yard games and a 61-yard game, along with 5 touchdowns on the season already. I know that, Julio Jones has been kind of off and on for this offense, but Calvin Ridley is their most dangerous weapon right now. Calvin Ridley is the guy that they're going to. Calvin Ridley is the guy that's getting the targets and the receptions and the yards and the touchdowns. So, Julio Jones is obviously going to be a big problem, but I'm more concerned about what Calvin Ridley's going to do on our second cornerback than what Julio Jones is going to be able to do on Amani.
I mean, listen, it's not good either way you look at it. like Calvin Ridley, Jeff Okudah. Yeah, I'll probably go Calvin. Julio Jones, Jeff Okudah. I'm probably going Julio. Let's reverse it to the other guy on the other side. Amani Warrior, Julio Jones. I'll probably give a push. I think he can battle with Julio Jones and Amani. But damn it, Calvin Ridley and the Mighty Warrior. I'm taking Calvin. I think he.
But you really are?
I'm taking Calvin. Yes.
Okay, we gonna see today.
Listen, Calvin got some of the best double moves, man. I love his double moves. I'm just saying. Now, down to 19. I knew this was coming. Okay, I've been getting slapped with this all day. He says, Luke, how you feeling about Michigan State yesterday? Rutgers is not a slouch team. Why is everybody acting like it's Rutgers? They're not. They're a good team. Okay, we are still trying to rebuild the program, and I'm getting hit left and right. Keep that same energy, because if y'all lose to Michigan State, ain't nobody gonna talk about Rutgers. I'm just saying, food for thought. But J-Mo, who do you think the Lions should be concerned with on offense and defense for the Falcons?
Hey man, the Michigan State tears taste sweet. But hey, bro, oh man. But I agree with Ryder. Calvin Ridley, like Julio is Julio, but Calvin really is the guy that will be freed up to do everything against single coverage, and he definitely is a number one wide receiver, and he's going to be a problem. And I mean, Calvin really had 9 touchdowns in his rookie year with Matt Ryan. So, and he's been doing this consistently. And I'm with Ryder. Julio is like up or down, even not this year. I think a lot of years, a lot of games he's just great. And in some games he could have 50 yards, 5 catches, and you'd be like, he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't Julio Jones.
Right. So,
and I know they both were on an injury report and hamstring injuries. And I would expect Calvin really to have the better game. But I'm going to be honest. I mean, we were just talking about it. I'd rather throw a money on Calvin really and just have Jeff Okudah get torched. And you'd be like, why? Well, we did that with D-Hop. D-Hop murdered Jeff Okudah, but at the end of the day, we won. So sometimes you got to take risks. But I want to say that we're gonna play so much zone, like it's gonna be just like Arizona because they got a lot of weapons. We're gonna play so much zone, so we'll see what happens. But on offense, Matt Ryan and I'm also worried about Grady Jarrett. But I definitely agree with you. Matt Ryan needs a turnover in the first half. For us, I'm dead serious. Whether interception, fumble, because he has 5 turnovers on the season, 2 fumbles. He needs a turnover in the first half, and I'm not going to sleep on Grady Jarrett, but I do trust our offensive line, though.
Okay. Listen, we're going to stay with you, J-Mo, on this next question, because I think this one is going to be right up your alley, and I think it's a good follow-up to it, which is, who should the Lions get involved in this game, like early, often, and throughout the game?
The number one person that the Detroit Lions have to get involved in this game is TJ Hockenson, man. Like, can I see some plays and some catches from this guy? Because I trust Kenny Golladay. He's not like everybody needs to get going to get in rhythm as skill players, but Kenny G don't have to get in rhythm. He can just grab a 50-yard pass easily. You see what I'm saying? But once we start using TJ early and often, it's going to throw their defense off balance, and then that's when you start hitting Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones, because the defense is going to be worried about TJ Hockenson. I think guys like AP and Swift, they'll come along, but TJ has to be the one destroying a defense in the middle.
All right, now listen, Boss Up 313 says, "Go Green." That's right. Luke Sparty Party support, baby. Let's go. They acting like Rutgers out here is some slouches or something.
They are.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
I can't, bro. Your joke. I couldn't even tell you. I just had to laugh, dog. Like,
listen, we got Detroit
man.
Drew in the building, man. If you ain't subscribed to our brother Detroit Drew, man, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing out on all your Pistons news. He's going to do a little bit of Lions. He pretty much does all of our sports, but he loves him some basketball. He take it so serious, and I'm telling you, it's great content. He says 53 peeps watching, only 20 likes. Come on, man, we can get those likes up. Let's do a better job get those likes up. I actually forgot about the like people. I'm not gonna lie. Let's go over to you, Ryder. What say you? Who do the Lions need to get started early and often?
So I can't remember. Somebody earlier said screens were going to be a big part of this game. Was that you?
Me. Yeah,
well,
me.
I mean, the Lions have a guy in Jamal Agnew that can definitely take a screen to the house on any play. I mean, we saw them throw a screen to Jamal Agnew last week, and I believe it got 11 yards on the play. Jamal Agnew only had 1 touch of the game, and it went for 11 yards on a screen pass. Like, if they get him involved on screens and end arounds, like he's a great distraction, but if he gets the ball, he can also make a lot of plays happen. He can also do a lot for your offense. And my dog's freaking out. Hold on. But, if Jamal Agnew can get involved, I think he's that forgotten weapon. I mean, nobody's thinking of Jamal Agnew, right? I mean, you think of Lions, you think Hawkinson, you think Kenny Galladay, you think Marvin Jones, Danny Amendola a little bit, DeAndre Swift. Nobody in their right mind outside of Detroit is going to say Jamal Agnew in their top 5 weapons for the Detroit Lions. So if they get him involved, he's the guy that I guarantee Atlanta hasn't prepared for. He's a guy that has the explosive potential to take any screen pass, any sweep pass to the house. And I think if we get him involved, he could be a really, really impactful player.
Okay. I'm surprised that J-Mo kind of took my thunder. I was going to go up to tight end, but I got a plan B for everything, people. I believe that there's 3 people that need to be done early. Did somebody just let one rip?
What's that mean?
Did someone let it rip? I'm just saying, but okay.
Someone feels much better now.
Something much better. Jim, who do the Lions need to get involved early and often?
My pick is a little different. I think it's Marvin Jones because I think that takes away the double team from Kenny Galladay. I think that opens up a lot more things, and he hasn't been doing well. I don't think Julio Jones has been eating enough, so I think we need to get him involved early and often.
Okay, what say you, Curt? Who do you think the Lions need to get involved early and often?
I just think they need to get the stable of running backs going early and often, and then that opens up the play action where we can get T.J. Hawkinson and those guys down the field involved. So I just think that we need to establish the run. So if we got the run game going, and that could be a plethora of guys. That can be either AP or it could be or Swift. But it opens up the play action, and I like that because I know that they can eat double moves and the tight end down the middle of the field, and you can open that up with some play action.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's legitimately 2 people. T.J. Hawkinson was on my list, obviously, and mind you, it keeps with my theme of what we got to do to win. Swift was on my list as well. So as you see today in the show, if you ain't checked him out, he got a great channel over there. He's pumping out a lot of videos, and especially he's into the batting thing. So if you're about that batting life, then you definitely want to check out the D.A.N show. He says Swift as a wide receiver, get him in the screen, get him on one-on-one with the linebacker. That opens up the run game, and that was going to be my initial one. But I'm gonna put somebody out there that we have not seen for the last few weeks, and that is Danny Amendola. Because I'm gonna tell you why. If you can get Danny Amendola to expose the little openings in this defense, Lord help me. Because that still goes with the theme of being able to get that short game going so you can kill him down the field and open up the run. And if you are able to get him going early, now the question becomes with their cornerbacks, they're going to have to contribute a resource to that, right? Like a safety or an extra linebacker or something. Now that leaves somebody one-on-one on the outside, whether that be Kenny Galladay or Marvin Jones. But let's say we're going to go with the thing that we think they would do, which is double team Kenny. Marvin Jones going to eat. And so once
so we think they're going to double team Kenny?
Well, I'm saying if Danny Amendola, if we're killing them with the underneath stuff, with the tight end, like you said, with T.J. Hawkinson, like with DeAndre Swift, what Dan said, and with the screen game, like what Writer said, I'm telling you, they can't double team everybody. They're going to have to give a resource to stop Danny Amendola underneath. So that's going to leave somebody one-on-one. And if I'm double teaming one of them, I'm double teaming Kenny Galladay. I'm not double teaming Marvin Jones.
I'm bracketing him.
Yeah, and
$6.1 million man.
I was just about to say, I can't believe you brought up the $6 million man, but I wouldn't be surprised if you had. Hey, wasn't it a show called like the $7 million man?
No, it was the $6 million man.
$6 million man. Yeah. No, but I was gonna say that I wouldn't be surprised if Amendola had like one of them vintage Golden Tate games where he's just killing you underneath and getting yards at the catch, ending up with like 9 for 110 or something. But if they double team Kenny Galladay, I feel more confident about this game.
But to me, that only works if we're killing them underneath. If you're not killing them underneath and you're just,
I think we could though. Swift, out the backfield. I think our running backs would be used. I'm with you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to get caught up in trying to force balls down the field. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, this is, believe it or not, they're one of the better teams against the run. I mean, statistically they are. I think they only given up like 97 yards for the whole season. Averaging like 97 yards for the whole season.
Yeah,
So
top 5 run defense.
So now how do you break that up? You obviously got to keep running, but you got to do other little things to back them up. And to me, it's not always just going down Dan the show card. Look, damn, a $6 million man reference. He caught it, but I'm just saying. I think that Danny Amendola can open some things up, and I expect them to get him involved early and often. That's what I'm just saying. Now let me ask this question right here, because I believe that every game has to come with keys, right? Mm-hmm. Like there should be a key to the game, and we're going to start this off with you, Curt. Give me 3 keys for the Lions to win this game.
3 keys for win the game, and it's shout out to Jeff Rogers. He tweeted out I'm wearing the all gray pajamas today, so shout out to him for a stupid tweet.
All gray pajamas. I hear you.
All gray pajamas. Control the clock, definitely. Time of possession is going to be key. That's one key. Second key, keep pressure on Matt Ryan. That's the second key. And like Jim said, don't turn the ball over. Those are my 3 keys to the game. Don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. You win a turnover battle, then that's the key to success for the Lions.
All right. What say you, Jim? What are your 3 keys for the Lions to beat the Falcons?
Well, number 1, I said it before, minimize mistakes. Don't take stupid penalties. Don't have 12 men on the field. Don't put somebody out there for a 57-yard field goal in the wind. I mean, just dumb things that you sit there and keep doing every week. Stop that. That's the first thing. Second thing, I agree with getting pressure on Matt Ryan. I think that is a key to the game. And also the third thing that I think is a key to the game is to who's laughing? What happened here?
I'm laughing at Don. I know what he's doing.
Don,
I know what he's doing.
Chill out.
Listen, I knew what he was doing. I'm like, oh, J-Mo, no. J-Mo, don't
honestly,
do it.
my third key to the game is our offensive line versus their defensive line. If our offensive line shows up like I think they can, I think we can actually run on this team. And if we can do that, I think we win the game.
Absolutely, man. Don, look.
That's hilarious.
Don's trying to set trigger.
Trying to get J-Mo upset.
J-Mo over there talking to the Hawk like, hey, calm down. I got this. Hey,
Don, I see you after the game.
To the Hulk.
I see you after the game.
He's trying to calm him down. The Hawk trying to come out like, no.
Everyone's trying to put him back in.
What you ain't gonna do is do that.
Hey, you gonna make me rewatch it, right? Like you go back just for that part. Hey man, you can say Stafford the worst quarterback on the planet, but when you mention Joey Harrington, we got a problem. Like
the sad part is everybody who saw that show. No, as soon as he said them Joey Harrington feet, I just said, "Oh Jesus, no! Why?
No, here we go.
Why?"
We love the whole reference.
Y'all don't play with that man. Like, oh my god. Okay, J-Mo. I got tears in my eyes. J-Mo. What are your 3 keys for the Lions to beat the Falcons?
My number 1 key, and I think it's the main key of this entire game, offensive and defensive lines. Keep that same energy. I need to see the same offensive and defensive lines from last week. Protecting Stafford, opening up holes in the run game. I mean, like, it's so funny. We're such a bad running team that I don't know that we don't see how much these huge runs that these teams be having is the full team. And on that 52-yard run from Swift, wasn't just Swift. That was the entire O-line. Jesse James came back with the chip block, everything in unison. Defensive line, I need y'all to be ferocious. Simple as that. Offensive, defensive line, keep that same energy. And my second key to the game, and I know this is kind of hard, but they're going to have to figure it out. You can't let Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley beat you. Like, if it has to be Todd Gurley going, 30 for 140, then we lost. But you have to find a way to keep those 2 guys specifically from beating you, make them beat you with anybody else but them. And my last key is use your weapons on both sides of the ball. I need to see Hey, I need to see some Jared Davis on the field a lot. I need to see my cornerbacks playing their zones right and getting their gaps right. And I need to see, J-Ron Curse stuffing people on third down. And on offense, I need to see TJ Hawkinson and Marvin Jones specifically and Danny Amendola, because those three have really been kind of missing in action. So that's what I need to see from these guys, man.
Man, shout out to Valerie Bordeaux. She say, J-Bo gonna bust your windows out your car.
Everybody don't know that reference. Everybody don't know what that reference is from.
She went full.
That's a good song. That's a good song.
She went full Jasmine Sullivan. I'm busting windows out your car.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
She's
Right there. Shout out to Val.
Yeah.
Shout out to Val.
Oh my God! All because of Don, man. Look what you all started, bro. All right, writer, man.
OMG. Shout out to OMG, man. Shout out to OMG.
Oh wow.
Okay, writer. What are your three keys to the Lions beating the Falcons, man?
So my first key is I think the Lions need to stay aggressive on offense. I felt like last week they, took more shots down the field. They gave Kenny Galladay more opportunities to just go up and get the ball. Obviously, the one was a free play where Stafford just put it up, but I mean that still showed Kenny Galladay can go up and absolutely moss a guy if he needs to. Like Kenny Galladay is one of the better contested catch wide receivers, and with the Falcons having a weak secondary, even last week they played a lot better, but there were still multiple plays where wide receivers were getting huge gains and huge catches over the top. Like this offense needs to be aggressive. This offense needs to take shots because even if they take 5, 6 shots, they're going to connect on at least 3 of them, and they can flip field position. They can flip momentum on those deep shots, and I think they need to stay aggressive on offense. My second key is that they need to stay aggressive on defense. We saw last week with J-Ron Curse was hitting guys. I mean, Tracy Walker almost murdered James Robinson on the sideline. He hit him so hard. Like this defense needs to set a tone. They need to hit early. They need to put Matt Ryan under pressure. They need to make this offense uncomfortable. And if they can do that, if they can, make Matt Ryan uncomfortable, make him get rid of the ball, if they can hit Julio Jones over the middle when he goes up for a pass, if they can just make this team uncomfortable and make it so that they don't get in that rhythm, they don't have as much time to take the deep shots that they like to take. I think that this defense can be very, very successful. And then my last key is just don't have stupid penalties. Don't make stupid decisions. Don't stop yourselves. Like last week, we saw a couple different times where DeAndre Swift had a huge run, but it was called back for a penalty. Or Stafford had a really nice pass, but it was called back for a penalty. Like just the Lions can't hurt themselves if they want to be good. The Lions can't have penalties. The Lions can't, have unnecessary turnovers. The Lions cannot beat themselves if they want to win this football game.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, right out the gate, Dr. Detroit says, yes, we need to let our elite linebacker out the closet, roll on the floor. But surprisingly, you'd be surprised that that's actually the right thing. And it's one of my keys. They need to let Reggie Ragland and Jared Davis play and unleash them. Because my goal is to disrupt and take off the head of Matt Ryan. If Matt Ryan is on his back, guess what he's not doing? He's not throwing the ball to Julio and Calvin Ridley. So who's our best blitzers? It's Jared Davis. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. He's our best blitzer. And if you got him in the game, you do got to let him out the closet and unleash him. So ironically enough, yeah, you're paying attention. I'm glad you are. And another key for it is on the offensive side of the ball, you have to mix it up. This is not one of them games where you got to be fully committed to the run unless it's working. But I suspect that they're going to gear up to slow the run down. They pay attention to what happened last week. And I think if they're gearing up to slow that run down, you got to be able to mix it up with that intermediate to medium and deep game in the passing. You got to be able to work those things in. Now, here's my last key. Special teams, I need y'all to keep that same energy. I need Fox to keep putting the ball on the one. I need for kick return to keep their gaps and get down there and get it, because I think Brandon Powell probably going to get a few chances to return some kicks. And I need for our punt team to do what they always been doing, making sure you uncomfortable with keeping you inside the 10-yard and below yard average. And to me, if you can hit on those 3 keys, you're winning out there in these streets. Now, the last question I'm going to hit before I hit on some of these questions in the chat before we get out of here, and this is the one that everybody seems to want me to ask every single week. If the Lions lose, Should the Lions fire Matt Patricia? We're going to start off with you, Writer.
I mean, yeah, I said it earlier. If the Lions lose another game, Matt Patricia shouldn't be here. The Lions always play better, or it seems like Matt Patricia's Lions always play really good when his job is supposedly on the line. So Sheila needs to be going to his house every single Friday right before they leave for the game and be like, yeah, if you don't win this game, don't even bother coming back to Michigan. Like, Sheila needs to be at his house like at least once a week saying, yeah, if you don't win this game, you're done. Like, get out. Because that's the only way the Lions that's the only way the Lions seem to play well, is if Matt Patricia's job is on the line for that game. So yeah, if the Lions want to play better, Matt Patricia's job should be on the line every game. And obviously that means if they lose a game, then Matt Patricia isn't going to be here. I think Matt Patricia has proven that he's not good enough to win in Detroit. So I mean, we should have fired him last year, but I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter till the end of the season, like somebody said earlier, but he's proven he can't win in Detroit. And if he can't beat a 1-5 Falcons team, he shouldn't be a head coach in the NFL.
Okay. What say you, J-Mo? If J-Mo, keep it PG. If they lose today, should Matt Patricia be fired?
Yeah. Like I don't need no long soliloquy. Be fired, because I've been telling y'all the last 2 weeks, I can't lose on Sunday, y'all. Either we win or Patricia fired. Like, I'm loving this today. Like, either we gonna go out and win, cool, or we gonna go out and lose and Patricia gone. Great. You see how I went from cool to great? See how I went from cool to great? I went from cool. That win was
say
cool.
Win for you, huh?
So we know what J-Mo's rooting for then, I guess.
I'm yeah, no, definitely fire him though.
Okay, we'll say you, Curt. If the Lions lose today, should the Lions just go ahead and be like, bye, Matt Patricia?
I have to say the consensus is going to be if he loses to a 1-5 team, he needs to be gone. Now here's my thought. Depends on how he loses, how they lose. If they lose today, if he'll be gone or not. If they're competitive and they lose, he won't be fired. If they get blown out or they lose another a big lead, then he'll be fired.
Okay, I can understand that. I mean, that line of thinking and that logic makes sense to me. I can get what you're saying. What you think, Jim? If the Lions somehow find a way to lose today, should the Lions fire Matt Patricia?
I think Matt Patricia is irrelevant, believe it or not. I think it's Bob Quinn that needs to be fired.
Oh!
And I think he built this team. He's the one that brought Patricia in the first place. I think he's the one who needs to answer for it.
Yeah, me and you on the same page. As far as I'm concerned, let him finish his season out. It doesn't make a difference in my opinion because, like I said, let him finish the season out. What you don't want to do is make the mistake that so many teams make. Look at what the Jets are doing. They've already mailed it in. By Le'Veon, they've already mailed it in. Look at what's going on with the Vikings. The Vikings went out there and traded a second-round pick for Yannick. I can't tell you how many people came in this chat to my, we got to get Yannick. We got to get Yannick. And I kept saying Yannick in it of himself is not good. Like he's a good player, but it's like he's not gonna come in and change nothing. He has to work within a role of people around him. And in Minnesota, he didn't have that, and so the Vikings decided we're gonna pass on him, and they sent them over there to the Ravens. So, in my opinion, it's Bob Quinn who has to get ghost because what that now does is it lets Matt Patricia know no matter what you do, how you do it, you're still fired, and that's what I want. That's what I want. I want him to feel it through the whole season. That especially if y'all saying that they play when his job is on the line. Good. So now he know for the whole season he fired, job on the line, go out there and play for y'all coach if that's y'all coach. Now, we'll jump to a few questions. I'm going to rapid fire on these ones really quick so we can get out of here and give people enough time to get some food. Kedrick says, how many times do the Lions blitz today? I'm going to say they need to blitz in the first quarter at least 15% of the time. I mean, just come out flat out and just dog out on them. You know, that's going to be my belief. B Zeno says, if Swift runs for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, do you think it's a guaranteed win? What you think, J-Mo?
100%.
All right, let's see. We're going to keep coming on down. I'm trying to get through these things fast, good people. It says, what about Bob Quinn? then do he get to go too? We pretty much addressed that one, but yeah, I think he's pretty much a done deal for all practical purposes. He would have to go. I don't even think there's no way of getting around it. Yes, I would love to be the head coach. They made me the head coach. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be a lot of people mad at me. I think it was I forgot what game it was. Maybe it was Maryland, I think it was, and the guy fumbled and he did push-ups right there on the field. So it's going to be a lot of kindred spirits changes and stuff going on if I was there. Let me see. Any other questions in here? Let me see. I'm going through people. I don't see any. Oh, here we go. It says, Luke, what are your thoughts on John Pennicini? I love him. I love him. I went back and watched film specifically just on him from the Jacksonville Jaguar games, and I saw much of the same. People trying to move him off his spot. Nope. Him taking on double teams. Yep. Him getting pressure and pushing the pocket. Yep. That dude got a different level of strength. And I'm not comparing him to this player, but it's a lot of similarities there to him and Ndamukong Suh. You don't just push Ndamukong Suh around. And that's how I feel about Pennicini. You don't just push him around. That guy makes you earn your paycheck, and I love what he's bringing to the table. Let's see. It says Blitz Ryan and see what happened. Let's bet if the Lions blitz a lot this game, you won't see it. Watch. We will get killed blitzing like we did last week. Where's Ryan running? Let's get that out the way.
Yeah, but I agree a little bit. Now we have to blitz, but we might get killed because what the blitzing against good quarterbacks, they usually can find the open receiver, and I know Matt Ryan can do that.
Right. But here's the thing, though. If you heard what I said blitz 15% in the first quarter. That's going to let you know where we at anyway, right? So what I'm saying is this: if you come out in the first quarter and you're blitzing and you're hitting home. Where is he running to? You have to, even if it gets him thrown off his back foot, off his spot, he can't sit there and have time to survey the field and make perfect throws to his receiving core. You can't do it. So how else are you going to get after him? Like I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, yeah, they got a nice tight end over there, but ain't that what we brought Jamie Collins in for? He's supposed to be our coverage linebacker.
Yep.
I mean, that's what he's here for, right? So let's be
honest. But he's not even really playing in coverage like that.
Man, listen, I don't even want to talk about it. That's our coverage linebacker.
I do want to talk about it because, like, it's not like I haven't even seen him getting cooked in coverage because he's not in coverage. Like, he's never in. Like, it's not like he's doing good or bad. He's rarely there. Like, we got Jared Davis and Tavai in coverage more than this man. So
I'm just saying. All I kept hearing was he's our coverage linebacker. That's all I kept hearing. That's what can I say? This is a very, 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 very good one. Boss up 313 said if D.A.N. Jones was on the trade, should we go for him? Yes.
Yes.
No.
No. Man, listen, y'all can have Carry On and I see you're a Christian Jones. Now I can move Jared Davis to outside.
Type of linebacker is Jared Davis. That's why.
Okay, so I got two speedy guys. Great. Jared Davis to the outside, him in the inside, Jamie Collins to the other inside, and Tavai on the out. I mean, however you want to do this, play around with it for all I care. All I'm saying is this team need a healthy dose of speed on defense, and we ain't got that right now.
That's right.
I'm just saying, we ain't got that. So, yes.
You can time Tavai by the calendar.
You say yes on day 182. He's almost at the quarterback. I was like, what? You can time him by the calendar. Whoa. Okay, let me see. Do we got any more questions in the chat? Oh, let me see. Should the NFL get rid of the 10-second runoff? No. I'm going to tell you why. There was a time before the 10-second runoff where you would have players just lay on people. Like they'll get a tackle and another guy just fall on them and they'll sit on them trying to kill clock. And the game be taking forever. And I ain't gonna lie. As I get older, I get sleepy even easier. And I need my time to sleep. Ain't nobody got time for a game that should have been over at 8, ended at 9 because you want to keep playing with the clock. No, let that 10-second runoff roll this thing. It sucks, but don't put yourself in a position to have to contend or worry about the 10-second runoff, in my opinion. That's how I'm looking at it. What are your thoughts on Nick Williams? Curt, I'll get this one to you. What are your thoughts on Nick Williams?
I really haven't seen much from him, so I don't have any thoughts on him because he hasn't played that well.
He does actually play for us, right?
I was about to say, I mean, last week, the whole D line was playing well, but he played good. Like, it was a couple plays where he just blew through the line last week. But that's last week though.
His limited snaps make it hard for you to get a gauge on him. When I watch film on him, I don't see as much as I see out of John Pennicini. I don't see that. So I mean that's food for thought.
And plus he had that shoulder injury, so that's probably why his snaps are probably much down as well. Bob Quin, as usual, bringing in a hurt player.
All right, this one is sure to cause some controversy. We're gonna run through everybody. Jim, who's better, Stafford or Ryan?
Stafford.
J-Mo, who's better, Stafford or Ryan?
Stafford. I really don't like. That's a weird question, man. I can care less. I want to win.
Jim was like, I don't give a damn. I just want that dub.
Right, I don't care who better. Like, if we win, like that's good with me. Dog. Like,
Ryder, who's better, Stafford or Ryan?
Stafford.
Curtis, who's better, Stafford or Ryan?
Matt number 9.
Yep, leave it to me to be the a-hole. I guess I think they're pretty much the same. Stafford has the better arm, but I think Matt Ryan's more intelligent than Stafford. Just saying. I think if you go through step by step and break it down piece by piece, you will find that they are pretty much the same people with their strengths and weaknesses and opposite of each other. It's almost like, when you think about superheroes and villains, the villains are always opposite of whatever the superhero is. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's what you see. I think they're pretty much the same. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Hey, Matthew Stafford been playing superhero for 11 years. How'd that work out?
That's right. He broke his back carrying this team.
We done had a lot of superheroes. Barry was the first one. What happened to him?
Yep.
I'm just saying. I think they have a lot of things that are. If you look at them, I
think this question was like who plays better today, but who's the better QB? That's another question.
Right. No, listen, I'm with you. All right, people. I got a lot of things to do before this. The post-game show, I'm pretty sure we have already settled this is on my channel, right? Unless somebody else wanted to do it. The post-game show will be on my channel right after the game, so you do not want to miss that. Make sure you tune into that. We'll get into the final thoughts. Starting off with my main man, Curt. Curt, what's your final thoughts for the people?
Hey, enjoy the game today. Be positive and go Lions.
Absolutely. Ryder, what are your final thoughts for today?
I think this will be a really fun game. I think every time the Lions and the Falcons play, it's always a good one. It's always close. It's always entertaining. I think the Lions can win today. I think it'll be very tough, but to quote J-Mo, the Lions win. That's cool. The Lions lose. Matt Patricia gets fired, and that's great.
He said, I'm sticking with that statement. Okay. Jim, what are your final thoughts for today?
You know what? Like you said, it doesn't matter because if the Lions win, you know what? Hey, they got a chance to get into the playoffs, however slim that might be in my opinion. But I wanted to shout out everybody in the chat, man. Everybody, thanks for rocking with us today. We have a miserable team most of the time. You guys are always with us and always comment and always blowing up the chat. Thank you very much for being here today. Thanks to Luke for hosting this today. I know you got a busy schedule, man, and I really appreciate that. And you guys, man, let's just get this dub today.
Absolutely. J-Mo, what are your final thoughts for the people?
Look, as I say every game, just watch the game and take your emotions out of it. Because that's how the Lions have had me since we lost to Chicago. Like, seriously. So I just want every fan, just watch the game. I don't care how much we up by. Just watch it. Just enjoy it. Shout out to all my Lions fans. This was definitely a great show. And also, if you ever mention Joey Harrington, beware.
Get that
Hulk
smoke.
smash.
Get that smoke from J-Mo.
I mean, this dude don't be holding them up. Listen, people, again, we wanted to get y'all out of here so y'all can enjoy yourselves, get y'all some food, get ready for the game. I like to end every show on a positive note, and today's positive quote comes from me. Damn, you're awesome. Let that sink in for a minute. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for rocking with us today. We appreciate every bit of it. Post-game show will be on my channel afterwards. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are